It's 2 months since journalist Jamal Khashoggi was murdered in the Saudi consulate in Istanbul. Al Jazeera's Tony Bertley looks back at how the investigation has unfolded so far and the continuing fight for justice by Khashoggi's family and friends.
These days, they keep a parked van in front of the entrance to the Saudi consulate in Istanbul to stop prying eyes. But in the last 8 weeks, Saudi Arabia has been unable to stop the world from knowing what happened inside this building on October the 2nd. Despite the Saudi lies and deception, the planning and intent, family and friends are determined on bringing the man who gave the order for Jamal Khashoggi's murder to justice.
The fight for justice for Khashoggi is continuing, and it will continue, of course, at the end, until everybody will be satisfied about the justice. And now I am very fortunately, now the issue is an international issue. It's a universal issue now.
The Saudis say 5 unnamed men, part of the 50-man so-called hit squad, are facing the death penalty in Saudi Arabia for the murder. 6 others are charged with related offences. Although Western intelligence agencies believe all the evidence, circumstantial and otherwise, points to the Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman as the architect of the killing, some diplomats believe he has got away with it.
Most probably executing 5 people who are asked to be killed in response to what they have done. And the other 7 or 6, remaining 6, they will be most probably jailed, and they will close the case.
Turkey and the rest of the world is shocked by the barbarity of the murder. President Recep Tayyip Erdogan and Turkey's government has leaked details of audio recordings from inside the consulate before, during and after the killing. Investigators revealed phone calls made to Riyadh, with one of the hit squad saying, "Tell the boss the deed is done." Without stating his name, the Turks have made it obvious the boss is Mohammed bin Salman. But Turkey's options are limited by a lack of Saudi cooperation and a lack of will from the international community. The Saudis are using the Vienna Convention on diplomatic immunities as reasons not to hand over the suspects to Turkey.
No state give her own citizen to another state for an investigation. So the issue is very simple. So definitely the investigation will come to an end in Turkey. But Turkey should bring this issue to international level, because the national investigation will be a dead end.
That is the only way this case can be investigated fairly and openly. But Turkey's government, mindful of its situation regarding human rights and treatment of some of its own citizens, is reluctant to call for a UN investigation, and Western governments seem disinterested. As could be seen at the G20 summit in Argentina, some politicians have short memories and forgiving natures when it comes to trade deals.
It now seems likely that the real culprit behind this crime is going to get away with it, and that the murder of Jamal Khashoggi will become a paragraph in history in a bloody region. And that's a sad indictment not only of Saudi Arabia, but also of the international community, which has stood by and watched and done nothing. Tony Bertley, Al Jazeera, Istanbul.
The Saudi Crown Prince, meanwhile, has left Mauritania after a short visit and is on his way now to Algeria. Earlier, Mohammed bin Salman was greeted by President Mohammed Ould Abdelaziz in the Mauritanian capital, Nouakchott. His presence sparked demonstrations linked to his alleged involvement in Khashoggi's murder. There have been protests against the Saudi Crown Prince during several stops of his overseas tour. More now from Zainabou Bent Erbi in Nouakchott.